Welcome to the brunch with Brooke, and I am sat down here with the wonderful Julia, director of the film Alpha. Julia, congratulations on Alpha.
Thank you.
It is a haunting, daring, and deeply human story that's sparked a lot of conversation. Let's look at body horror as growing pains. So you've always explored just transformation through body. You did it in Raw, in Titan, and now Alpha. Here it's a teenage girl facing infection and fear. What drew you to connect adolescence, a time of change and vulnerability, with a terrifying blood disease?
Oh, okay. Let me rebound just on the body horror thing to start with. I'm not comfortable with labels. I
Yeah,
think it's a little bit reductive because it tends to be linked to superficial shock
yeah,
value. I do believe that the body is the ground for, questioning our
yeah.
humanity,
Mm,
questioning society as well, because I do believe that the body in my films very often represents the way society
mm,
treats them very much
yeah,
and is a mirror to that.
yeah.
Second thing is that it's actually very little blood in
No,
this film.
no.
For once, I want to
Mm,
say, because that's my pretty much my most bloodless
yeah.
film since I started making some. So your question was why I picked, I think, a teenager as a main
Yeah,
character for
yeah.
that. Well, it's the story for me is more centered around fear than it really is a story about a specific disease. The disease that I created for the film is a
Mm,
disease that doesn't exist, and yet that I wanted you to
yeah,
feel extremely real and
yeah.
to trigger in you empathy for
Mm,
the people who are
mm,
infected.
mm.
However, for me, the real virus in the film definitely is fear, and it's really researched through how when fear seeps into the crevices of
Yeah,
society, how the immediate reflex is rejection, and that rejection generates hate. It's ostracization and shaming
yeah,
of a particular population. So the reason why I decided to have my main character, who's 13 in the film, being the target
yeah,
of all this ostracization and this
yeah,
shaming, really because I was thinking, well, if that shocks you, that she's at the bottom of this extremely backward movement of
yeah.
society, shocks you on a 13-year-old fictional
Mm,
girl,
mm,
why didn't it shock you at the time in the 90s when it
yeah,
was actually real and applied to thousands and
yeah,
thousands and thousands of people and
yeah,
families,
yeah,
So an entry point
yeah,
into this very ugly side of society.
yeah,
And a young girl at the bottom
yeah.
of it would really trigger that.
You've done it in such a beautiful way as well. See that the infected turn into marble is such a striking image. It's equally oddly
Mhm.
beautiful. What does that transformation represent for you? Is it purity, paralysis, decay, or society's fear of the unknown, or something entirely different?
Well, it's many things, really. The term you use, beautiful, because it was really at the center of my reflection as far as the disease I was going to create and as far as its symptoms are concerned. My very naive first instinct was I want people to see the patients as beautiful, people to see them as persons,
Yeah,
as individuals,
yeah,
not as creatures, not as
yeah,
strangers or weird abnormalities in that
yeah,
world. I wanted people to connect with
yeah,
them. However, beauty is a very tricky concept
yeah,
because it's a concept that pretends to be
yeah.
objective. And we know how each
Mm,
period of time, each era had its own academics as far as what beauty is
yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah,
And yet it's a purely subjective
yeah.
matter. What I'm going to find beautiful, you might find ugly or tasteless, right?
Absolutely.
So the question of beauty was extremely triggering for me because I was like, how do I do that?
Yeah,
How do I win the audience as far as the patients are
yeah,
concerned?
yeah,
The scene in the waiting room when she runs into her teacher and his partner,
yeah,
and I wrote the line, "No, but you are beautiful." That's true. That's what she says to the partner who's infected.
yeah,
I thought the actress who's going to play that has to really mean it.
yeah,
It's not out of
yeah,
politeness. It's not because she's socially
yeah.
awkward. It's because she truly believes he's
Believes it.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And that alleviated me from the beauty conundrum,
yeah,
because
yeah,
if she finds them beautiful, then everyone will find them
yeah.
beautiful.
To look at family fear and infection. So, at its core, Alpha is a family story. You see love and fear colliding between mother, daughter, and uncle. How did you approach capturing the mix of tenderness and paranoia?
That's interesting. It's really a drama written like one, directed like one, and made with love like one. And again, for me, a drama, it means that I never lose touch with the humanity of my characters whatsoever. Tenderness, the paranoia,
Yeah,
and
the
all this,
tender.
yes,
How
the
did you get the
balance.
balance right?
Angle. Yeah, well, I think to start with, I really believe that love and fear are the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
It goes with, because the moment you feel love for someone, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, children, parents, whatever, your first instinct is gonna be like, oh, I don't want to lose them. And that's fear.
And that's the fear
right away. And we know that fear can lead us to kind of overpass our responsibility that we have when we love someone. Because when we love someone, we have to agree to give them their freedom. We cannot overpass it. But when you have this fear of losing them, and that's what happens to mom in the film, is that she actually overpasses her duty as a sister, as a mom, and starts like controlling, exactly, and going against their own free will. So that's how I balance that.
Tahar Rahim delivers such a beautiful raw performance as Amin, a man broken yet deeply loved. How important was it for you to build a believable, emotional, authentic bond between Alpha and her uncle, given the pain that they share?
Well, that's an interesting one. My answer is going to be in two times. The first thing is that I always told Tahar, and I always told myself when I was writing, that it has to be very clear to me and to everyone that Amin is not defined by his addiction, and that Amin is not defined by his affliction either. Amin is a real character who is both childlike and extremely wise and heroic in times. He also can be extremely selfish in many ways, and he can also be incredibly giving as well. He's a very complex character, and I refuse to define anyone as far as their afflictions are concerned. In love that I put in him, I put in him because it's him. It's all my films have been tackling the subject of elected family. Here it's a little bit the same, but they are from the same family, they are blood relative, and yet I do believe that within the bond of a family, it's still an election, meaning that you still have to adapt to the person's evolution, to the person's mutation, and to embrace it with love all the time. It's also a relationship that you can get out of if it becomes toxic.
Beautiful to see how their relationship grows and flourishes. There's a pivotal scene where Alpha attempts to honor her uncle's wish not to be resuscitated if he does overlaps. It's heartbreaking and bold thing to do. Was that the moment about compassion, control, or the painful acceptance of mortality?
I think this scene has many like topics attached to it, because it's a scene in which the two timelines of the film, present and past, reunite in order to allow my main character to relive the trauma that she has already lived when she was 5 but had completely denied because her mom wanted her to deny it, and that she felt that going through this trauma again would help process it and grieve it finally, to leave it behind. Trauma can be resolved by accepting it and by processing it, by feeling it, not through denial. And then, of course, there is the question of someone live on their own terms. You know, and that's exactly what she promised her uncle she would do, and what her mom has a lot of trouble doing.
When the credits roll and people have long left the cinema, what do you hope audiences will take away? Fear, empathy, deeper reflection, to be human?
Well, to be honest, I really think that art in general is only all about what it means to be humans. What I want them to feel first is the love. To me, it's a movie that I wrote with love for my characters, for my family, with the people that I made the film with, my entire crew. Everyone found something really personal through this story, and traumas that they have been through in their lives. Because I made this film with a lot of love, and I'm going to tell you, it was a very emotional set on a daily basis for everybody. Also a very close-knitted group. What I wish they could live with is not defining anyone by their hardships. I think when keep having empathy for people as individuals with their own flaws,
Yeah.
with their own failures,
Yeah.
with their tryouts, all this.
Yeah, Julia, thank you so much for sharing Alpha with us. I thought it was such a beautiful film.
Thank you.
Can't wait for audiences to see it and to feel everything you've been trying to convey.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much.
Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to introduce lead actor of Alpha, TAHAR Rahim. Welcome, TAHAR.
I just wanted to congratulate you on Alpha. For me, it was super moving, and yeah, it's just something that stays with you. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. With Alpha, I found you bring in such intensity and an emotional moving piece. How did you bring a sense of humanity into a role where there's very little dialogue at the beginning?
Because I think that the most universal language is the body.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you see when you meet somebody.
Yeah.
And that's why we move this way and we talk with the body. And also, I think that, I mean, it's very important to me to start with the body.
Yeah.
Each time I work on a character, I need to understand the way he moves, the way he is.
Yeah.
As a like a sack of cells.
Yeah.
You know. And knowing that Julia will shoot me the way she shoots body,
Yeah.
I knew that it was important, and of course it was inherent to the project
Yeah.
to be physically like this.
Yeah.
And everybody had to be told with the body, even if the scene was full of dialogue.
Yeah.
You're defined. Sometimes people have like preconceptions, ideas from the way you move, from everything, and so it means something.
Yeah.
And emotionally, it was really intense because people who are suffering from addiction are intense. They go from when they take their product, they're very mellow.
Yeah.
And then when they need it, they're like a lightning ball.
That's right.
They're intense.
Yeah.
They want to find it.
Yeah.
So there was this duality.
Yeah.
And about the emotion, and we never wanted to depict just by his addiction.
Yeah.
He's a human. He got feelings.
Yeah.
And many things. And I wanted to find the kid that's still inside of it.
Yeah.
Because when you start putting up
Yeah.
to you, the people I worked with, because they helped me a lot. I volunteered in a facility that helps people that are suffering from addiction.
Yes, I saw. So I met them.
And they allowed me in their most intimate and private moments in life.
Yeah.
And I very quickly realized that there are still wounded kids.
Yeah.
I think that there is an emotional pocket
Yeah.
that might have somewhere, and that didn't find another way to fill it up, but the product.
Yeah.
With the product.
Yeah.
And that sort of innocent, goofy kid
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring it in because you don't want to see someone who's only like intense and dark. Oh,
Yeah.
tongue with the tongue, show his humanity
Yeah.
and his lightness.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I've noticed, and it was very, very helpful.
Yeah. Do you know what? It really translates. You don't see just addiction. He was full of life, and it was just so beautiful when he builds a connection with Alpha. Looking at empathy and addiction, you talk about spending time with people supported by Gaia Association, observing addiction up close. How did that experience change you to understand Amin and to tap into his addictive behavior in a deeper way? And is that where the empathy came from as well?
It could have been, but it was because I unfortunately, a very close friend of mine was a long time ago very addicted.
Yeah.
And he I don't know how he did it. It was a miracle, but he's managed to stop it by himself.
Yeah.
And I assisted him
Yeah.
a couple of times. And I can tell you that what you see in the movie, see in reality, is even harder than what we see in the movie.
Right.
he was so in need that he broke his teeth by just, how do we say it?
Very grinding at it, yeah.
So the empathy was already,
Wow, wow, wow.
but it was a good reminder.
Yeah. I wanted to look at your bond with Alpha. Actually, the connection between Amin and his niece is so powerful. It's heartbreaking. There's so many. You go on a roller coaster together where you become to understand each other. How did you and Melissa Boris build that trust and emotional honesty that translates on screen?
Thank you. There was a lot of things already written in the script, right? But for this bond and this relationship, it was quite easy because I've been through what she's lived through, like being a young actor, working with a great director, and having the responsibility to carry a movie. But I was 27 when it happened.
Yeah.
She was 18,
Yeah.
or 19. I don't know exactly. So that you don't need to talk more. One more time, body talks.
Right.
So it was like gesture or a little attention to help her becoming more self-confident.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation.
Yeah.
I remember I think she was a little nervous one day, and I saw it. It wasn't on her face.
Yeah.
She would just move her hand like this. And I noticed it between takes while she was. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see her. Or knocked on her door and like, let's just have a tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but somebody told you something. I was like, no, it's fine. I just want to have a deal with you. Talked, and little by little, she started to open up and to see her getting more self-confident, improvise, and everything was fantastic.
Yeah.
So it was in reality, and we put it in front of the camera.
Right. Yeah. And do you know what? It just translates beautifully. There's a part, where she attempts to honor your wish of not being resuscitated. And it's almost like she allows you to be who you are and give you that sense of freedom as well, which I just thought was beautiful. It said that you spent a lot of time in isolation as well and to get into character for filming for this piece. How did this solitude shape your performance?
It wasn't really on purpose.
Yeah.
It's just that when you have to be on such a drastic diet, your social life changes. You can't really go for lunch. You can have a drink. You can't have dinner.
Yeah.
So it isolates you. But at the same time, it was important and efficient, and I needed it.
Yeah.
Just to have some time with myself. And the more I would lose weight, the more I would be spiritually connected to, Beaut, to the elements.
Yes.
And that isolation was finally a bless. And it helped me a lot to be able to go the distance.
Yeah. Wow. It's such a moving piece visually. And finally, what do you want audiences to take away from this film?
I hope that they feel that this movie is finally full of love.
Yeah.
And it's about, in a noble way, about interdependence, because it starts as a sort of vicious circle.
Yeah.
It turns out to be a virtuous one.
Yeah.
It's like how people can help each other to save themselves.
Yeah.
So it's all about family, but most importantly, love.
Thank you so much for joining me today and congratulations on the film. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
You're so sorry.
Thank you so much.